So today we're actually looking at this new drone, the F11PRO 2 Plus from Ruko. Now, we actually reviewed the F11PRO, which we liked, but there were a few issues. And when I actually talked to Ruko, they were just like, well, it seems like it's possibly an issue with maybe your drone, because I was just getting some artifacts or things in the shots that I was just a little concerned with. But other than that, it actually performed very well. Now, the one thing to realize is this is not a sub 250 gram drone. So you do have to possibly have some registration, possibly have some licensing, depending on where you decide to fly something like this. But the actual F11PRO 2, as you can see here, really designed as an upgrade to the F11PRO, giving you better night shots, better flights, etc., etc. Anyways, we're going to unbox it right now just to see what comes in here. Then I'm actually going to take it out for the next couple days and do some flying. I got a little day trip going out, so I figured this would be great to bring with me. Anyways, as you can see here, clear night shots. That's probably the big feature. 8K photos, 3-axis brushless gimbal, 48 megapixel camera, bunch of stuff on the back. It does have an app, which I have, 16 plus age. Cool. So I do think, the biggest thing with this one is the fact for a lot of people is that it is over the 250 gram. Once I come back and I can take a look at the footage, I'll go over all the specs and all that kind of stuff with you, so you guys kind of understand, if you're looking at this, what you're getting yourself, I guess, into, because I think that's important, right? Anyways, comes in the case, which automatically fantastic. Yes, it's always good to have a case. For sure. Plastic bags can be dangerous. I don't know, put them on your head, I guess, right? So this looks very similar to the original Roku box, which I would expect. Yes. But what do you get in this lovely case? So, flight steps, download the app, watch the tutorial, red sheet, register with the FAA before flying. See? Not under 250 grams. Charging, adapter not included, so make sure you have one. And please use the original cable. I'm with you. And some other stuff. Beginner notes, return rules, da-da-da-da-da. Awesome. The bigger manual, very nice. And you're going to get your different connectors. So, of course, this is going to depend on which kind of phone you're actually connecting to. Be it, an iPhone, an older iPhone, Lightning, USB-C, etc., etc. You're going to get a battery. Yes, so I'm gonna have to charge that up. Again, your cables, very cool. So I believe one of these is for charging everything. One of these is actually for taking it to the controller to your phone. Now, this is one of those drone controllers that you do need your phone for. It does not come with a pre-built screen or anything like that. I keep pointing here, but this is the actual controller right here. So now what I do like, and they did it on the other one too, is they give you this cool little thing. Keep this with you if you want, because it tells you what all the controls kind of do, which I think is a handy little idea. First, that goes there, little screen, which will pull off up here. Yes, it's a nice feeling controller. Nice, you got your little thumbsticks right there. Very nice. They hide in the little bottom there when you're packing it up, right? But other than that, yeah, it's nice feeling. It's good size. It's got a little screen that kind of shows you some information in regards to it, just how many satellites, probably what mode you're in, blah, 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 et cetera, right? So, and then this, of course, is where you would put your phone. So, good size. That's what it is. And then, of course, you get the physical drone. And this one, again, it's a little bit bigger than what you would see from your standard, again, 250 gram drone, Anyways, as you can see, your 3-axis gimbal with a little cover, landing gear, yes, folds out. This is where you get a little bit of that size for sure. Make sure you fold it out in the right order, right? But it's definitely bigger for sure, right? Definitely bigger. But there's going to be where you put your microSD card right there. You get another QR code. You get some lights. I don't think this has like any kind of obstacle avoidance. I think it's just lighting. You get your battery. So you do get one battery here. Now, do you get two batteries? Is it a secondary? You do. So you get two batteries with the kit. So that's kind of nice. Again, we're going to take it out and fly, see if I need two batteries. I have a feeling I probably will. So I'll make sure these are both charged up. Oh, and inside here, this one too is accessory pack. So you do get your cables, but I just flipped it over and you get your extra props, screws, screwdriver, etc., etc. Anyways, I'm gonna go charge this up, go up for a fly, and I will be back to finish the video with some footage and my thoughts. All right, so now we've had the actual chance to take the Ruko F11PRO 2 Plus out in the air, and I've had a chance to look at some of the footage. I guess the question is, what do I actually think? Well, you know, the short version is that I do think this is a surprisingly capable drone. If you're looking for a stable flight, you know, plenty of battery life and smooth 4K footage without having to move into, you know, the expensive end of the drone market that's out there. But, you know, it isn't perfect. And there are definitely a few important things that I think you should know before you actually buy one of these drones. So let's start first with how it actually flies, because that's kind of important. So once you actually have the Ruko Mini app installed, it's connected to your phone, and you let the drone establish a proper GPS lock. You know, the basic flying experience is actually really very straightforward. And in the air, the drone itself settles into a very stable hover without requiring constant corrections. And that is also one of the most consistent positives that have been reported by other reviewers. The actual GPS positioning definitely works well. And the larger, heavier body of this drone definitely makes it feel more planted than a lot of the other lightweight mini drones that are out there, which is a good thing. So Ruko rates this at a level 6 wind resistance. Now that doesn't mean that you should fly it in horrible weather, but the extra weight of the drone and the brushless motors are going to help if that wind does pick up, for sure. Now the camera is probably one of the biggest reasons that most people will consider this drone. Roku advertises it with a 4K video at 30 frames per second, 48 megapixel half-inch CMOS sensor, and 8K still photos with, as we saw in the unboxing, a mechanical 3-axis gimbal. Now for me, out of all those specifications, honestly, it's the 3-axis gimbal that's probably the most important feature out of them all. Big resolution numbers look great on a box, but the gimbal is what actually keeps things like the horizon level and removes much of the vibrations and movements that happen while you and I are flying. So the result is smooth, stable footage, even when the drone is making really small corrections in the air. Now again, reading other reviewers, they also were impressed by the stabilization, especially when tested in windy conditions. Now in good daylight, that 4K video has plenty of detail, again, for casual aerial footage, travel videos, property shots, social media content. It's not going to give you the same dynamic range or color science or fine control as a more expensive camera drone, but the results are really good for this class and price point. One of the important details is that the image on your phone, because again, you're using your phone as a controller, is not the full quality recording. And Roku says that the app preview is 720p, while the full 4K video that's saved on your microSD card is going to be 4K. So if live view looks soft, just don't judge it. Now the drone saves photos as JPEGs and video as MP4. No raw photo capture, so be aware of that. So you're not going to have as much flexibility later on to be able to recover things like highlights, adjust shadows, or make any kind of major color changes later on once you get that image or video over to your editor. Battery life is another major strength, and just so you guys know, the old batteries from the old one seem to work. Roku advertises up to 37 minutes from each battery, giving you what they say is a total of 74 minutes. And again, these are best case figures. So wind, temperature, speed, how you're recording, return to home are all going to reduce some of that time. And again, different reviewers generally reported approximately 25 to 32 minutes of active flight per battery, which is probably close to what I got. I got high 20s, and that's still really useful. Now, I think the main positives for this drone are fairly easy to identify. And number one is it's stable and reassuring in the air.
that 3-axis gimbal keeps normal flight footage really smooth. Heavier design of the drone handles wind better than you would get, I would think, from most lightweight beginner drones. And you do get useful GPS features and, of course, the return to home. 2 batteries that you get provide a good amount of real-world flying time, but there are negatives that are also just as prominent. At approximately 357 grams, it isn't in that convenient sub 250 gram category. There is no obstacle avoidance. The advertised battery life and transmission range, of course, are ideal conditions. It doesn't capture raw photos. You need to supply your own phone, and the microSD card is required for full quality 4K recordings. So a lot of things you kind of have to add. So, who is the F11 Pro 2 Plus for? Well, I think it makes the most sense probably for someone that is moving from, let's say, more of a toy drone who wants stable GPS assisted flight. They want that long battery life. They want that smooth aerial footage. It would also suit someone who flies mainly in open areas and understands that return to home is kind of a backup, not a replacement for actually paying attention to getting that drone back. And if your priorities are staying below, like me, 250 grams, that's a big one for me, or someone who wants raw photos or having full obstacle avoidance, well, this probably isn't going to be the right drone for you. But that's not necessarily who they're targeting. Also, at its regular price, I would compare it carefully with other options that are available. But when it's discounted, the gimbal, the wind stability, GPS features, 2 battery package, make it a lot easier to recommend, for sure. Overall, I think that the F11 Pro 2 Plus is definitely a good option or something you should look at for a beginner or a casual content creator. But you have to definitely understand your regulations, and you have to value that stability and flight time much more than having the most advanced camera system out there or even the most advanced safety system. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think of the footage that you've had the opportunity to see, because ultimately that is one of the best ways to judge these camera drones, is the footage. That's kind of why you bought it. And if this video helped you make a decision, I guess, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more reviews. And as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. And I will see you fine folks next video. Links down below. Later.